lovelies. Today we are going to talk about Avalon High. This was actually made into a Disney Channel original movie. So I didn't know there was a book until I seen this at the thrift store the other day, and I decided to read it. I'm going to talk about the differences and tell you about the book and if it's better than the movie so far, because I'm halfway through. So grab a snack, grab a drink, give this a like and a subscribe. You're not obligated to, but it does help the channel, and roll the intro. Now, first, let's talk about the movie itself. This is the Disney Channel original movie, Avalon High, based on this book. Well, in this movie, there are some differences already between the book halfway through and the movie, because the movie stars, I think, Sterling Knight's in this movie. I mean, he was in a lot of movies. No, it's not Sterling Knight. It's the guy that was the werewolf in Wizards of Waverly Place. He's in this movie. Well, anyway, it's about this girl who figures out that her school has startling resemblances to the Arthurian legends. The legends of King Arthur, the Knights of the Round Table. I'm not going to try to spoil it, but then this girl, Ellie, moves to town, and she has a greater part to play. Let's just say. She is one of the characters from Arthurian legend. They're all people from Arthurian legend reborn. And there's like a curse or something. I haven't gotten that far. But that's what the movie is. The movie is basically, she ends up being somebody that she never expected to be. And she has to kick some ass. Ellie has to kick some ass. Well, so far in this one, the book is a little bit different. There's not actually that many differences. But spoilers ahead, if you guys have not seen the movie, kind of a little bit of spoilers, but I kind of can't talk about the differences. Okay, the part where Will finds out that Jennifer, his girlfriend, which is like the Guinevere of this story, is messing with his best friend, Lance, who is, Lancelot. The Arthurian legend. Well, the way they find out is different because his brother is they're on this boat trip in the book. They're on the boat trip. They're just riding on a sailboat, and his stepbrother tells him, hey, those two are messing around together, and they're on the boat too, so it's kind of like awkward. But in the movie, I think he just walks in on them in the movie, if I'm not right. I haven't seen the movie in so long. I remember it when it came out on Disney Channel. Like, this movie came out a long time ago, so if you haven't seen it, go watch it. It might even be for free somewhere. Like, this movie is, like, on the low rung of everyone's radar when it comes to Disney Channel original movies, but I personally like this movie. I am a huge, like, medieval nerd. I love medieval stuff. I love Arthurian legend. I love all that weird stuff that I know is super nerdy. I mean, I'm wearing elf ears. And my favorite style is a style called fairy grunge. Look it up. I mean, I'm weird. Oh god, that sounded like Riverdale. The part where Jughead's like, in case you haven't guessed, I'm weird. I'm a weirdo. I don't fit in. And I don't want to fit in. Why? Why'd they make him say that line? I'll never know. This is not a Riverdale hate video, but back to the book. Yeah, so it's like subtle things like that. Like her parents are, they don't act dumb like they do in the movie, because the parents are kind of dumb in the movie a little bit. They're like, I don't know, like, they're not like how they are in the book. That's different. When I first started reading this book, there's this part where her favorite thing to do during the summer was float on the pool, because the way that she comes to town is also kind of different, I think. Her parents are both professors, and her dad is writing this book on this really old sword, and so her dad gets on his sabbatical, which a sabbatical is like, a year-long vacation for professors so they could write a book, they can work on other projects and while they're not teaching. So Ellie is on yet another sabbatical with her parents, and she goes to Avalon High during this year of high school. And this is where she meets Will. But the way that she meets Will, the guy that she thinks is, not that she thinks, but everyone else thinks is like the King Arthur of the town, or the school, is like, she, like, her favorite thing to do is float on the pool, because she didn't have a pool back home. So her favorite thing to do is to ride a float on the pool. And one day she's just floating on there after her first day of school, and she sees Will at the park, and then all of a sudden he's like standing there in her backyard. I was having flashbacks to Pretty Little Liars, where Spencer was getting ready to go in the hot tub, and her sister's boyfriend that she's into is just like magically appears there, and he's like, "Hey, you mind if I join you?" And I'm like, were these written around the same time? You know what? I'm gonna look that up if these were written around the same time, because that had, like, Pretty Little Liars vibes, and I was not living for it. I was like, no, I'm not doing this again. This is why I didn't read the rest of the Pretty Little Liars books. I'm like, no, I don't want to do this again. I really don't. I really don't. So, yeah, those are the differences between this book. Now, how do I like it is the question. Right now, I'm undecided. I kind of like the book better. It's really interesting. The book is a lot more interesting, and it gives you a lot more info about the Arthurian legends and everything. I really like that, and the teacher's kind of shady. Where in the movie, it kind of hits you that the teacher has some nefarious purposes. Like, he's not specifically the big bad in the movie. Like, he is a big bad, but he's, like, one of them. I'm trying to give you as least spoilers as possible. I am so sorry. But yeah, I am liking the book a little bit better than I did the movie, but I still like the movie. It's still solid so far. It's still holding up. There's just some subtle differences. So yeah, that's my halfway through video? Halfway through talk through? I don't know. I will work on the name. If you guys have any suggestions, give me it in the comments. Like this video. Subscribe if you haven't already. If you liked this video, if you like my content, I do lots of different things. Press all the buttons, do all the things, la 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 la, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, and happy reading.